Now, I think it's time, let's hear from our final speaker. He has a very interesting transition in his career. He is the founder of Eco-Dynamic from France. After 3 years working with BCG, Boston Consulting Group, he found his true calling. He dreamed to help children to grow into a happy and independent adult life. He believes that schools are the place for kids to play all day free. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Ramin Farhangi.
School gets us so worried. Will my kids get good grades? Will they go to college, graduate, get a good job? It's normal, it's legitimate to be worried when you take it for granted that failing school usually leads to a life of misery, while succeeding at school sets you up for a good career and therefore a guarantee of safety and freedom for your future. I came here today to introduce you to a completely different world, where children don't compete for grades, for graduation, or any kind of evaluation at all, where there aren't any winners and losers, but simply people of all ages doing whatever they want to do, whatever is meaningful to them and makes them feel alive. In this world, children enjoy the fundamental right to be in charge of their own lives, just like adults. Everyone is safe and free right now, and confident that they will always remain safe and free. This is not some kind of fiction in a crazy person's head. It is reality for tens of thousands of pioneering families all over the world who decided to opt out of schooling and offer their kids full power over their own lives. Some of these kids attend some very special places called democratic schools. I am the co-founder of such a school in Paris since 2015 called École Dynamique. It means dynamic school. There's a wide variety of democratic schools, and most of you probably heard of Summerhill, where attending lessons is optional. The model I chose for École Dynamique is Sudbury Valley School. It has 50 years of history, and it is the purest form of child democracy I found. In what we commonly call Sudbury schools, children and young people of all ages live together as a community without any kind of coercion or even expectation to study school subjects or attend any adult-directed activities. No curriculum at all. The children decide on the rules and sanctions through democratic processes, and they hire the staff of the school, so they're basically in charge of running their own community. And naturally, they spend most of their time playing. This is what kids spontaneously do, right? Playing with dolls, playing with animals, playing with blocks, with a photo camera, with computers, with a fishing rod, with numbers, with ideas, you name it. Any form of playing is to be celebrated because playing is always about pursuing a passion. And every passion you pursue causes you to learn about what you're doing. Being a parent, learning about how animals behave, building towers. As a child follows his instinct to play, he doesn't even realize that he's engaging into the highest and most powerful form of learning there is. In Sudbury schools, by playing all day long, children learn all the essential knowledge and skills they need for life. And they are ready for a lifetime of free play. A few good stories to share with you. One of Sudbury Valley alumni practiced fishing between ages 10 and 15. Fishing is all he did for 5 years. At age 16, he suddenly stops fishing and opens a computer hardware store. He then goes on to live a successful and happy career as a computer expert for a big American tech company. Another powerful story is Laura Poitras. She spent most of her childhood taking pictures and cooking. She's the Oscar winner for the documentary Citizen 4, where we see Edward Snowden blowing the whistle. One of them went to live into the wild for a year and is now a farmer. One of them discovered math at age 15 and is a math university professor. More than 80% of Sudbury Valley alumni go to college and usually get their top choice. Some of them learned how to read at age 4, others at age 11. In the end, it doesn't matter. In fact, late learners tend to evolve more towards intellectual and academic careers. So, let's all relax. Reading age doesn't matter. Discovering Pythagoras, Newton, and Darwin at age 10 or 45 doesn't matter. What matters in life is to play and have fun. I hope that you are now ready to sit back, watch your kids play, and relax. I'm not done provoking you. The best part is coming. I imagine that at this point, most of you remain skeptical that this small initiative could scale up one day. Don't you feel that all this freedom can only work for a happy few? That for a society to function properly, we need most people to basically do whatever they're told to do? Let me try to convince you that it doesn't necessarily need to be this way. Society has changed several times in the past, sometimes in quite radical ways, so it's reasonable to think that it can change again in the future. Only a century ago, in 1917, wasn't it hard to believe that one day women could be treated as free individuals and be granted equal rights? No more forced marriages or forced anything. No more reducing them to housewives. No more punishing them to keep them under control. It was almost impossible to imagine back then that even one woman could live this way. I mean, people didn't even realize they were doing anything wrong. So some of yesterday's unimaginable ideas are today's reality. I mean, look at us today in 2017. It's clearly not okay anymore in our modern mainstream culture to treat women this way, right? Well, similarly, some of today's unthinkable ideas are tomorrow's reality. Tomorrow, in 2117, children will be treated as free individuals and be granted equal rights. No more forced schooling or forced anything. No more reducing them to students. No more punishing them to keep them under control. These obscure times are almost over. Just as women are still acquiring their freedom, children will acquire their freedom. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Rami. We do have a wish that when we were kids, our parents listened to your speech, then we will have a totally different childhood, right?